Okay.
So my name is Lia Rottenstrauch. I was Wininger before. The name for my parents, my father was Zygmunt Wininger, my mother was Charlotte, we called her Lottie.
Yeah.
And my grandparents was Hannah and Chaim. And the other grandparents, I haven't known my grandmother because it was also Leah, and I was named after her, and Nachum.
This was your mother's parents?
And the first one was Hannah, and Chaim was for my mother's parents. And Leah and Nachum was for my father.
And what was the last name of your mother's parents?
Vites.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And what is the town that you were
And the
born?
town I was born in Chernovits. It's a very, very nice town, a very Jewish town. And it has 2 universities, where really, really in Jewish life was there a lot. It was a very nice town. And this town is also a story about this peace from Romania. There was not Romania. In the beginning it was Österreich-Ungarn. So my parents talked only Germany. And all the surrounding was so then, but it was not in my time. When I was born, it was Romania already.
And tell me your birthday.
My birthday, 19th of June, 1931. And that was where was a Jewish life.
Tell me a little bit about how your family celebrated Shabbat, for instance.
Oh, my family was not extreme religious, but it was, the Shabbat was Shabbat and holiday was holiday. It was really a really Jewish life, but not Orthodox.
Did you go to synagogue with your father on Saturday morning? Or?
Yeah, I used to go, but most of the holidays. The holidays, yes. I went to a public school, and I went 2 times a week or 3 times, I don't remember anymore. I went in a Jewish school. There was Beit Yaakov. And there I learned all the brachot and everything, and when it was Jewish holiday special, we used to make nice parties there. And in school, in the public school, was also religion. So for the Jews was one separate, and one was for the Christian children. Separate. They also talked about us as a religion, Adam, Chava, everything, so from the beginning. Yes.
And tell me, just for an example, tell me about Simchat Torah in your like when you were little.
Simchat Torah, I remember I used to go to the temple with a flag, and a red apple was on the flag, and even a candle. We used to go. And it was very nice for the children, and for us it was special, very nice, because it was a birthday for my grandmother. And we used then, after the school, we used to go to my grandmother. It was a party, all the family. It was nice.
Tell me about your aunts and uncles. You had aunts and uncles?
Yeah, I have uncles also, and aunts. Yes, I have. My mother has 2 sisters and a brother. And my father also has 3 brothers, yes. We used to go to be there on Shabbat, we used to come. It was a very nice family, and I remember for Pesach, all the family used to go from the synagogue, come to us for lunch, was a special table and everything. So it was nice.
Do you remember the special foods that you would have for Passover? Do you remember?
The special food?
Yeah, that they would make.
Yeah, everything like here is special, of course, a beautiful table, with everything on the table, beautiful dishes. It was a very nice, home, a very nice home, and I have everything what a child needs. I was the only child also. It was not something what I have needed, it was not for me.
Did you live in a single home or in an apartment?
No, it was apartment. Yes.
Do you remember the name of the street and the number?
Oh, yes, yes. In Germany, I remember, it was Altgasse. And then they called it in Romanian Cuzavoda. So that was the street. It was near the university, really.
What was the name of the university? Do you recall?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was two universities. I was sure I don't know what the two universities was. Not far one from the other. And from our house was really in the corner.
Did all of your aunts and uncles and the cousins live in Chernovits, or?
Yeah, only one brother from my father was not living, was in another town.
And did they live nearby you, or?
Yeah, at the same time.
Yeah.
They haven't go to the car with the car to them. Yes.
And maybe, do you remember celebrating Hanukkah?
Oh yes, of course, a Hanukkah gelt, of course, a present, of course I remember, like every child. Yes, of course I remember Hanukkah.
And the last one, do you remember what you did either at the Beit Yaakov or at home for Purim? What was Purim like?
So Purim was in the Beit Yaakov, Beit Yaakov, where I was, Beit Yaakov came, there was to make a little party.
Do you remember dressing up or a Purim
Yes,
shiur,
also special, yes, of course, dressing up.
Did you learn to read at Beit Yaakov in Hebrew?
Yeah, in Hebrew, and what is special there, my teacher was from Germany, from Hamburg, and every word what we learned to read in Hebrew, she was translated. For example, we say, Baruch gelobt, ata, you, do, everything. Baruch gelobt, ata, do, Adonai, God, Eloheinu, unser Gott. Everything was translated that we should know what we are praying.
And in Beit Yaakov, it was just the girls or also with boys together?
Was with boys together. Yes, it was with boys together. Small children we were.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the public school that you went to.
Yeah, the public school, of course, was not only Jewish children, it was Christian children too. And I have a lot of friends. Some from my best friend was not a Jewish girl. We were very good friends. She used to come to me, I used to go to their house. I will tell a little story. It was, I think, so Christmas, if I remember exactly. And she get two costumes, folklore, from Romania, beautiful costumes. And her parents said, one will be for you and one will be for Lia, for me. I was very happy to get such a special thing, and I put it on, and when we went to school, the teacher came and took it off for me. I was holding it with both hands, and I was crying. She beat me on my hands, she took it out, she put it on a Christian girl, and she gave me a hair costume. It was, of course, not so beautiful, so nice. There's a thing, I was a little girl, but I think I never will forget it. I was holding with both hands, she beat me on my hands, she took off the costume.
Did you experience other kinds of difficulty being a little Jewish girl in school from other teachers or other children?
For me, no. From other children, no. There was a teacher. There was not the children. There was a teacher.
At what age did you start school?
6, 7. Yes.
And then you, actually let me back up for a moment because then we get close to when the war begins. Tell me, what did your father do for a living?
Oh, yes, we have had a store, a tailor store with badim. How do you say?
Badim is cloth.
Not clothes.
Not clothes. Material.
Material, yes.
Material
yes.
Make.
And it was really special what people used to come. There was a lot of workers who were working for my father.
Material.
And also my father has big problems with the store.
What were they?
I will tell, because my father was from Vienna and they took away from him the citizenship. And she told him it's not allowed that he has a store on his name. And he has to take a partner, somebody what is not Jewish. I remember was problems, lawyer used to come in our house. I was a little girl, but I remember exactly was with a lawyer and going and coming. And the end, what was the story from this, the Russian came in 1940, comes a Russian in our town, and the problem was gone.
So the problems with the store in his name happened before the Germans?
Yeah, before the war.
From the
the
Romanians?
Yeah, from the Romanian. My father hasn't had Romanian citizenship because it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was, but they say no because you're not from here for Romania. Mm-hmm. It was problems. It was already beginning. It was not at once. We have feel it many times. I remember it was last Purim, if I remember good. Also was Jewish people was going to celebrate and they catch them, they beat them up.
When was this, do you remember?
I think 39.
Mm-hmm.
They beat them up. I remember what I hear was the parents and family was talking, they even burn on their back cross, but not the cross, the Hakenkreuz, what the German has, you know,
Mm-hmm.
they burn on the backs even.
Yeah.
Yes, we felt it already before. There was a big anti-Semitism.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, what did your grandfather, do you remember what he did?
He was a pension already. Yeah. But I remember he had a store for sweet things, chocolate, ice cream, such was, but then I gave it off.
Do you remember going to the store?
Oh yeah, I get what I want. Of course I remember, of course. Yeah. Of course I remember.
And
But
in
I
the
think,
summers.
Nahum, the Nahum was in the farm lived, no? He lived in like a little farm.
Oh yeah.
That's the Nahum.
Yeah, it was, a big one. Yeah, they took away. Yes.
In the summers, when you were off from school, did
I used to go with my mother always vacation for 4 weeks, even more, in nice places.
Where did you go? Do you remember the names of the places?
Of course I remember. It was Kempulung and Batradorna. Yes, I remember. My mother used to take baths there, but all kinds for health baths. Yes, Mat, I remember, and other one.
Where was this? Was this up in the mountains?
It was up, yes.
In Romania?
Yeah.
And
yes.
There were many families who would go, or?
No, we went by ourselves. We got where we lived in the hotels. It was beautiful park and special water, what they say is good to drink. And yes, we used to go every year with my mother, every year. And we used to make a little trouble for her too.
How did you make trouble?
Oh, that I don't want to say.
Yeah, tell us one trouble story.
No.
The grandchildren will like it. Go ahead.
So we like it.
They like it. They like to know Safta makes trouble.
Yes. My mother was reading a lot books always. Although she used to make needle points. And we used to go in the park. And in the middle of the park was a big, beautiful park. Was such a pavilion. There was music there. Was from the army. There was a music making. And I only used to go with my mom and see where she sit down. And then I say I go play by the music with the children, of course. And she said go. So see where she sit one day. And the 12 o'clock, lunchtime, they finished, and everybody went out to eat. Everybody went out. My mom, poor mom, was sitting here waiting that I should come back. And I hadn't come.
And where were you?
To sign my name on the bench. I'm not nice. It's not nice, but it's true.
It's okay. It's good.
So, I was punished.
Oh, yeah,
of course.
I'm sure. And in the summer, there was a place to swim there? And
Oh yes, there was a river, and there was also a pool where we used to go. There it was closed to go in. It was a nice, very beautiful place, with pool and everything. Yes, it was a very nice place.
And your father would come or no?
Oh, he used to come for the weekend and we bring good sweet things always. Go back.
And in the winter, did you also...
In the winter I was going on the ice, how do you say?
Ice skating.
Yes, I have even a picture. I have a picture of me on the ice on one leg staying.
This was in Chernovits or outside?
Yeah, no, it was in Chernovits. It was also not far from us where I was living with music. I used to go every evening, not to let down one evening.
Would you meet other friends there? This is
Oh yeah, I used to go with this Christian girl. We used to go together every time. Yes.
Where was the ice skating? It was outside and
It was outside, yes, but it was close. It was close because it was a place where we put on the shoes and everything, and to warm up a little bit there, yes. There was music and lights. It was a very nice place. Yes.
Do you know how large Chernovits was? How many people?
I don't know. But it was a big town. And a Jewish town.
Yeah. The name of the synagogue that you went to, you recall?
No, I don't know. The synagogue, I don't know exactly the name, but the family was a big part of this synagogue. My grandfather, Chaim, has a big, we have our places and everything in this synagogue because, I don't know, but I remember, so like in a dream, yes. We used to go always in the same synagogue, always there, because it was like, I don't know what it was, but I know that my grandfather and my father, all the family was their places. And,
was there separate seating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up was a woman and down was a man.
On Fridays, did your mother, would she bake her own challah?
Oh yeah, there was challah, even for me a little challah. Yes.
You would learn to bake with her? Did you sit with her?
No.
Must be like me. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Friday night. Of course, it was special.
Yeah.
Of course.
Let's see. Why don't we go a little bit forward? And you told me that you began to feel it, some of the anti-Semitism coming.
Yeah.
So
The story was I told before. Yes,
Yeah.
we feel it. And my father, Hitler already came in power, and my father wanted to leave. He wanted to go to America. My mother hadn't wanted with other families, and he wanted to go to Palestine. Even I remember my parents learned even English. Yes. But also everything went very fast, you know. Because it was only, the Russian came in, they were 1 year, the Russian was.
when did they come?
They came in 1940, and 41 was the war, there was already war. German came very fast in. German came very fast into our town.
What happened when the Russians came in? How did it, the Russians came in and they fought with the Romanians, or how did you feel it when the Russians came?
I went to school. I learned Russian also. I went to school. And it was not the same like it was before. It was more cooperative, you know. Our store was not anymore. It was with other people together. But not even in our store. Our store, they make a pharmacy in our store. And it was then a big place where a lot of tailors and other people was work together.
And what did your father do during this time?
He was also there in this big cooperative. He was there, yes, and even he was organizer, has done everything together to organize, and he was responsible for what come in, what go out, yes.
And were you able to stay in your apartment?
Yeah, the apartment was taken, the apartment.
And in school, I'm sorry, not in school. Were you able to continue in the Beit Yaakov or no? And at school, you began to learn Russian?
Yeah. We began to learn Russia from the beginning, ABC. Yes.
And the Russian soldiers took over the town? They stayed in the town, or it became more normal?
It came, everything went back normal, everything, but only everything was already cooperative. Everything was not private.
Mm-hmm.
That is the right word. It was not private. But we haven't had problems, haven't taken our things away.
Okay.
No.
And tell me what happened as the year goes on.
The year went on, and there was already the war, and German came in.
And what do you remember in that time about the war? Were you?
What I remember very well. The first 3 days was robbery and killing. And these first 3 days, my father's brother and his son, a 19-year-old son, was killed. And Yom Kippur, they burned out our temple. It was one of the beautifulest temples in Europe, our temple. They burned down the temple.
Do you remember when the Germans came in? And what was it, just in the fall before Yom Kippur or another time?
It was before. I think it was in the fall, end of the summer. I think so, yes. Yes, in the end from the summer, like this, yes. They came in, yes.
And in which year was this?
41.
And do you know what the circumstances were? How your uncle and his son died?
Yes, because I'm very good with my aunt is not anymore, but the cousin, she's in Israel, and we are very good together. And yes, they took out from the houses some people, and we were near the river. They bring everybody down to the river, they shoot them.
What was the name of this river? Do you recall?
Yeah, Brut. Yes.
And then after the 3 days, tell me what happened just after
Yeah, in our house also happened that they came and say everybody out from the house because somebody was shooting from the house. Who was shooting? And we were sitting on the street, and they told to throw down the keys from the apartment. I remember when we went down, my mom took a coat to throw over me. We had known we will come back. And then they went in, and in the end they took, everybody can take the key and go back. But it was not an easy time to stay there or outside from the house. All the people were living in this house, yes.
And tell me how it progressed, in the next few months.
No, it was very short, very short. They put everybody in the ghetto.
How soon after they came in, do you remember?
Very short time, very short, and everything was very fast. And they put us in the ghetto, and I was on a Saturday. We went to the ghetto. I remember, I don't remember the date, but the day I remember it was Saturday. And my mother's sister they closed the ghetto, was closed with ghetto tile.
Fences.
Fences,
Okay.
yes. And where my aunt was living, where you go into the house was in the ghetto. The windows was already out from the ghetto. And I remember uncle came, everybody to help. We took what we can took with us, not a lot.
What kinds of things do you
We
recall
took
taking?
clothes and some food. My mother said food. We don't know what we should have what to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And everything was in the closet, like somebody go out and have to come back. Everything we let there. Everything. We haven't taken only clothes and some food. We couldn't take so lot.
And in your aunt's house? Is it
Yeah, I
your
went to my aunt, and there were other people too in this house. We were in one room. We were, but there was a lot of people. It was a ghetto. A lot of people had to run in the ghetto. There was other, also not. There was people would know my aunt, you know, but it was very full, and.
Do you remember how many other families were in your apartment?
Yes, I haven't even know everybody who was there. I tell you the truth, I haven't know everybody. And it was also an uncle for me, with his family, and other uncle. That was an uncle. It was an uncle for my mom. He was a brother for my grandfather. And there was already people talk that not they will took us away in a concentration camp, but some people will stay. Some Jews will stay in the town. And then my father went to the fence to see somebody, and he sent out a letter to the mayor because he know him very well. If he can help something, she'll help us. And he really helped, but it was too late because then they closed streets to go to the train station to take us away. And it was the first street was closed up because it was really by the fence.
Do you recall how long you may have lived in your aunt's house before they took you to the train?
A very short time. I cannot remember, but it was a very short time.
And where were your grandparents at this
My
time?
grandparents was also with my other aunt, with a sister for my mother.
And this was in a house
The other house, yes.
inside the ghetto also?
Yeah, inside the ghetto. Yes, yes. And our street was the first street, but they took away, they closed it, so we have to go to the train station. And some people run away from one street in the other. But I don't know why.
Did you have an idea of where they would take you? Did your parents talk about it or anything like that?
No, I don't know. I was like, I don't know where I'm living. I was also a child. I have no what is going on. I have no exactly what will be, where I am. Will I go back? Will I stay? I have no nothing. But one picture I remember very, very clear. It was Simchat Torah, and they took us to the train station. And there was a lot of people, like ships. One by the other went, and around was the military, the police, what was watching us. It was like ships are going, we went to the rest.
And the military that was surrounding this
Yeah,
group,
yeah.
they were from Germans, Romanians, who were they?
And it's German.
German.
And when we came to the station, they put us in wagons from cattle wagons, close, and a lot inside. I remember we were sitting, we couldn't even stretch out our legs when we were sitting inside. We closed it. And
Did your parents were with you?
yeah, my parents were with me, and everybody we make some backpack where you put in clothes or what we need. Everybody has one on his back, and some food also in the hands.
And also the other family you were with?
Yeah.
Everybody-
Also, well, I think one family was going away, I think so, but my aunt and my uncle and two sons, they were with us. Yeah. And we came to a little town. The name was Mureș. There we have to go out from the train.
Do you remember how long the ride was from when you left Chernovits to this new town?
One day.
When,
I think so, one day. Then they told us to give Jewry what everybody has, to give up. And they put us in a ghetto, and the ghetto was empty. Empty houses. And outside was like a little, what's that? So a little giva, like a little.
a little mound?
Yes, small, yes.
Of the ground,
And for every house, and then we heard that the family who was living in this house used to make themselves the the place, the grasses. I see, I'm a little nervous.
It's okay, it's okay. You can take your time.
They have to make the hole to stay in, and then they shoot them. And then they go. But in every house is like a little
In front
in
of
front
each
of
house.
the house, yes. And
This town was in Romania
that
still.
was still in Romania, yes. That was still in Romania. And we haven't had what to eat, of course not. And outside from the fence has come people to give food. Not to give. We used to take out our clothes for something, to get bread or something like this.
So when you got off the train, they told everyone to give the jewelry that they had taken.
Yeah.
So no one had any valuables and
No.
nothing.
Maybe some people
hid a little bit.
yes.
Yeah. And then you came to this town, which had been a ghetto also, or no?
Yeah, in the ghetto. We were in the ghetto. We was
Okay, and
close.
that's where you found these.
Yeah. It was
And-
a ghetto.
And when you say they came over the fence, you mean people outside?
Outside. Say you want the bread, you want some soup, with a bucket with soup. It was more water, of course. And we took out, you want this, some clothes.
And how long did you remain in the town?
Also a very short time.
Days?
Couple of days.
Weeks? Couple of days. And where did you stay?
This we stayed there in the ghetto, and then they took us out by foot to walk.
In the few days that you were in this ghetto, you went into the people's homes
Yeah,
that were
because everything
empty.
was empty.
These-
empty.
Was this a bigger town, a smaller town? in Chernovits?
A small village. I think it was a small village. We haven't seen it, but a small village because of the houses. We saw poor houses. There was they put us.
Okay. These were not apartments, these were
No,
small homes,
no,
like village homes.
small, yes. And then they took us out by foot, go. And it was raining, it was already fall, and it was muddy a lot. And then you went with this package on your back, you put one foot in, you couldn't even take it out because of mud, and a lot of people died already. And when they died, they put it on the side from the road, and that's it.
And do you remember what kind of shoes you were wearing? Did you...
Oh yes, I remember. I have good shoes. Good shoes. Oh, big shoes, yes.
Like boots, kind of up high?
No, boots. Yes. The shoes was go up till here. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
my mom was very careful that everybody should have a good coat and sweater and shoes. And that was what we took from home. We haven't took nothing. It was a home with everything. We haven't taken tablecloths or such things. Nothing.
did
Nothing.
you also had a rucksack?
Yeah, I also have a rucksack. Yes, I also have with my things.
Did you take anything special or just what your mother
What
took?
my mom packed.
So on this, they took you out from the ghetto and they
We
took you
went.
walking through the mud and the
at
rain.
night we were sleeping outside. And I remember on the second or the third night, we were sleeping in a forest. It was cold. They took down, the people went to take branches to make a fire. And I remember my uncle came to me and to my cousin and said, children, we don't know if we will come back, but you are young, maybe you come back, I want to show you something. And there was a ditch there with a lot of dead people. I couldn't go, I hadn't go, but my cousin went. But the lad who died, they throw it there in, and dogs was running between them and eat pieces. I haven't seen it, I haven't gone, but my cousin went to see. And that was my uncle said, you tell for the world what you saw. And from there we was already near the river, a big river, the name was Nistru. And from this river, they took us on platform over the river, we went to Ukraine. Over the other side of the river, there was Ukraine. And there they put us in a kolkhoz. But the kolkhoz was empty. A kolkhoz is where people are living together and working together. Let's say like a kibbutz. And it was empty. And they put us there in the stable. It was other people also. But I want to say something. When we came here, there was already other people. Train was going after train. We was the first train. And people came from our town and they told to my father, I don't have to tell you, but I want to tell you that you get a permission to stay, not to go away. When we was by this train station, he was going from one wagon to the other and called your name. Wininger, out. Wininger came out. You have a permission to stay in the town, not to go, but it was not anymore.
This was permission to stay at
It's
home?
to stay at home, to go out from the ghetto even. Because all these people went out from the ghetto. They hadn't stayed, the ghetto was finished. They took out all the people from the ghetto, finished ghetto. Who stays went back home.
And you think that they called you to come out?
Yeah,
because-
of course, because I told you my father sent out a letter and he has a very big relationships. He was under the first people who get permission to stay in the town, but he was not anymore.
Okay.
And this also was, in this kolkhoz when we came, there was such a half a roof. It was not a roof, where they put the hay and the straw up, because it was stable, something. And we were children, my cousin, we were tired from walking. And my father and my uncle, and they decided to throw the children there up. Said, we don't go farther, because every day, go. Just maybe to rest a day too, because the foot is already swollen and everything. So they put us up there, all the family, my mom, my aunt, everybody went up. And we used to sit, if nobody should hear that we are there.
And what kind of a building was this?
It was a stable,
Okay.
no doors, open.
But they had the second
Half, it was half, because they had to, well, they throw up, I think so. And I was there a day, 2 days, something, not more. And one day they catched us.
And what happened when they
The
caught you?
Romanian
Oh.
soldiers, it was Romanian soldiers there, I remember. And they throw us down from there. And they beat us so, with the rifles how you say,
Rifles,
doesn't matter where you get. The children the same, I was beaten the same, put my head, that shall not get, but it doesn't matter where. They take out the belt and they beat us. And they put us by the wall and say that will be your end. So, what can we do? We were staying there, the family, my aunt, the children, everybody. And I came up a carriage with a horse or donkey, I don't know. Because there down was a little village. And he said, we need some people who are professional people. My father said, I'm a tailor. Okay, out. Took it out. And my uncle, he has a factory for chocolate, big factory, and also was also a big cafe, but they used to do there also cakes and everything, so I say, I'm a baker. And they took all us out, and they bring us down in this village.
Now
It
this-
was, I don't know, what shall I tell you? Miracle. Because we were staying by the wall, we were staying there. And they took us there down. And this little village was named Yampol.
Let me just ask you, when you were walking from the second village through the forest where you were sleeping,
Yeah.
and then to cross the
River, the Nesru,
which soldiers were with you?
Romanian.
Also Romanian.
Yeah.
And were there ever German soldiers around, Nazi soldiers around? No. Okay.
And then they took us there down. It was a little village. They put us also in the ghetto. There was also a ghetto. But the people from the ghetto were still there. They were Russian people, Jews. And everybody wanted that we should go to live with them. They was afraid. And they knew we know the language. And everything, come live in my part. Come live with me. Everybody want us that we should go in.
Do you know why did they want you to go to
Yeah, of course, to protect them, because we knew the language, Romanian language, and so they were afraid from the soldiers. They were afraid that they begged, please come. They give up their bed what they have till that we should come in. So we went in, such with also Russia, Ukrainian family, but Jews. We was there all the time from the war. We was there till 44. Till 44 we was there. And there were German also in this place, not only Romanian people, not only Romanian soldiers, German also.
German soldiers also.
Yep. And there was a Deutsche Ortskommandant, there was a commander. And my father speaks a very good German. And once he called him up, also need something, and when my father talked to him, he liked very much. And I can tell he was very nice to us. Very, very nice. We get even food. He was
This was
very
from the Deutsche Kommandant?
The Deutsche Ortskommandant.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And the Romanian soldiers, what not so nice. And it was a major, a Romanian major. And he used to say, I cannot eat breakfast before I don't shoot a Jew. And that was his time. When somebody went out from the ghetto, that was the end. And he by himself went to shoot him. He hasn't let somebody else. He by himself went to shoot the Jews. And he called my father and told him to make him uniform, but not to go near to him. I can imagine my father far away shall be good, not a major. And he told for my father, you will have a special protection. You know, as everybody go out to shoot him outside. If you will not be good, I will put you on the roof, and from there I will shoot you down. Can you imagine? My father, how he makes this and how he was praying that we should be good. What was going over us. And it was fine, thanks God. And then it was changed. Always they changed as a commander came.
Did they change the troops also?
The troops I don't know, but the commander I know, because every morning we used to go out, there was appel. And they used to call all the names to see if everybody was staying outside. All the families, the Jews were still there. And we, together with them, to call the names to see if everybody is there. And it came in as a commander, officer. And this officer who came, his grandfather, his father, and he by himself was clients by my father's store. My father made for him, he was in the military officer school. My father made for him the first uniform for this guy who came. And he was very, very nice to us. There was something, but we was not so, because in the morning when we used to come out to the pet, he used to say, but Mr. Wininger, take your family and you can go in. We used to go in, you know.
And this officer replaced the one who liked to kill everybody.
Yeah. And he was very nice to us. He was so nice. He went back home. He was from Chernovits, from our town. And my uncle was living with us. So I told you was with us again. He also stay. He hasn't gone to the concentration camp. He get also permission to stay. And we sent a letter, and we went to him, he gives a letter, he bought us some clothes. Because we haven't had, can you imagine, for a long time, the same clothes. And he went us some clothes. Then they put him in another place. And it was winter, and he sent a carriage with a soldier with a half a sack with flowers for us. Flour in oil.
What was the name of the officer? Do you recall?
No, I cannot remember. But he was very, very nice to us. He tried that we should have what to eat, everything. It was not anymore in his son. To us, he hasn't forget my father. All the family was, because my father knew his grandfather, his father, they all was high officers, not, he was very nice to us. So always was a little luck with my father.
And then other German soldiers, so it was the Romanians and the Germans?
There was Romanian and German soldiers, and we were in the ghetto. One night a German soldier came in the ghetto. They make a lot of trouble for women. And my father went the next day to the Deutschen Ortskommandant, and he told him everything. He was begging him, please, you are so nice, help that should not happen once more what happened. And he was very nice. From this day on was a patrol with a dog. They went around that nobody should come in the ghetto anymore. The German. Yes. He liked to talk to my father. He used to call him. And one day he told to my father, tell me, what do you think about the war? When we'll finish the war? And my father said, what do you ask me? We don't have newspaper, we don't have a radio. How can we know? And he said, you know, the Jews have a very good nose. They smell on. But also, it was already by the end, we almost hear the shooting. It was very near. And we saw what was going on, they burned already papers and the gauzes, and also he called my father. And he told me, you see, all the time I was here, I was nice to you all. I will take care of you all, but we are leaving. I am leaving. And the SS are coming. I want that you should know. And he told my father, to take what you want, food. And my father said, what do you need the food? I'm not sure with my life. What can I take the food? He said, what we want here are a lot of food, things. Can you believe, the people already in the ghetto knew that the Deutsche Ortskommandant called my father, that something is going on, and he was waiting already, he come back. My father came back, and he told these things, they are leaving. They are leaving this night, and the SS are coming. You know where the SS are? And people, you know, people make holes, they prepare to hide themselves. They went even in, you know, we haven't have bathrooms. It was outside. It was like from wood something, and it was running in a holes. In these holes, they went to go in that shall not be kept. And really, the SS came in the next day. We also hide ourselves.
Where did you hide?
I remember also inside, with these people who were living together, we make a big hole under this where we were sleeping. We took out, and also got to throw out this, so when we put the ground and everything, we went there in and covered us with covered with a bit, put something. I don't remember the covers, they said, you'll not see where there. They came in, and how they came in, so they went. They came in the ghetto. I haven't seen it, but some people saw. But the Russian came after them, and they catch them.
How quickly after the?
Even hours. But the Russian also was not the real army, only the first line was coming. And we was very afraid they will beat them back. and then what will be. But then came the tanks and everything came in, and we were free. But then the Russian took all the men to help to make the bridge over this Dnestru, that they go further. And they took my father also. And all the people ran out from the ghetto. We haven't stayed anymore in the ghetto.
Let me just ask you a couple of questions, and then we'll take a break.
Yeah.
What did you do during the day while you were in this town, in this ghetto? Was there school? Was there anything?
Well, school, but my teacher from the Beit Yaakov, she was with us in the ghetto. And she always took all the children, came to her where she was living. She was teaching us everything. She was a teacher. She was teaching us even English. She was teaching us. We came every day to her house, every day where she was, and she was teaching us. And she was sick then, but she hasn't given up. She was teaching us everything, math and so. What we have already, what could she teach with not books? Not books, but she was teaching us a lot. Every day we went to her. Not the whole day like you go to school, for 2 hours. So maybe 3, but not more. We went to her house and were sitting there as the children with her. She was teaching us.
And how many children do you...
It was children. Yes, I forgot to say also a very thing. Before it finished the war, before we were still in the ghetto, but it was already near that the Russian came in, because the Russian came in to make us free. There was from the Jewish, I think, I don't know, I forgot the name, from America, I think so, was to take out all, how they arrange, I cannot tell you because I also was a child, to take out all the children. Under the name we are orphans, the parents died. And they took out all the children from our ghetto, except of me. I haven't want to leave my parents. But my parents told me, go, you don't know. I don't have. I was the only child who stayed in the ghetto after this. Even one not. All the children went.
So all your cousins left?
Yeah, everybody went away. They bring them to Romania. And from Romania they bring them to Constanza, to the Black Sea, and they pushed them to Israel. It was not Israel, but they went there. And one ship with children went down. And was something the children was I knew was also on this ship.
This happened when?
That happened in 44 or 6, so it was before the end. Before we was free. It was before the end, maybe a couple of months before we was free.
So the Germans and the the Germans and the Romanians were in the town with you?
Yes, and how I told you that they went away,
yeah.
And the Deutsche Ortskommandant and the SS are coming, and the Russian came in. They took everybody to make the bridge there, all the young people, and all the people from the ghetto ran out. And there was the people from there, the Jewish people there knew that it was a big cellar, a big, from the Turkey time, a very big one, and they showed where, and we all ran in this. It was very big. All the people ran there, because in the moment the Russian came in, the German airplane came and bombed all the ghetto. They bombed. And then also one woman with a son was killed in this bomb. But we was also there inside in this, it was a cellar, it was not step. We fell down, went down to this, and we were staying there. And how it was silent, we hear no planes, we ran up to see what we can catch some food to bring in. What's still in the houses, yes. There we stayed till the front went further.
I'm going to stop now because I'm not sure how much film we have. And then we'll swing in. My foot.
Oh, your foot,
That's all right. Okay.
I want to tell also, in this time was there in this camp, I was twice sick of typhus.
Okay. While you were in the village, yeah.
Yeah, I was this camp in this very well in this camp where all the years. Twice was I sick of typhus.
How did you
I
become
have
well?
had Flecktyphus and Bauchtyphus. When I have had Flecktyphus, they took me out from the ghetto. They put me in a hospital. I have had my hair, they cut all my hair. They cut all my hair down there in the hospital. The big fever. My father could go out of the ghetto. He came to see me, but my mother I haven't seen 3 weeks. I was lying there in high fever. My father came for half an hour, or he was not allowed, and went back. I also want to say, because of this German Ortskommandant, Father went to him and cried for him. See, my only child is so sick, and she's in the hospital. The food, not nothing, high fever. And he gave him some apples to give him. My father came to the hospital and brought me 2 or 3 apples. I was eating them under this blanket. It was a blanket, it was schmatte, but it was covered that nobody should see the apple.
And you remained 3 weeks, and you were
3 weeks, and then was fever, but this Flecktyphus was very, very high fever. I haven't remembered nothing what is going on. Nothing.
And how did they? Did your father need to have permission to get you out from the ghetto to go to the hospital? Or?
Yeah. Because my father had such a permission, this is allowed to go out from the ghetto, and then he went to and cried that he can go to see me. So he came every day, but only to see me. I remember father said, well, sometimes he came. I haven't even known that father is there. And then I get better. I got healthy. He took me back in the ghetto. And then I saw my mother after 3 weeks. She couldn't come. And then later, also, was already the last year, I get also typhus, Bauchtyphus. But this, they haven't helped me because it's not going over from one to the other. My parents hadn't said for nobody. I was lying there by myself there. It's not in the hospital. I was with my parents. My mom used to take care of me.
What were the symptoms of the second typhus?
The second was a belly.
And were your grandparents with you in the ghetto?
No.
What
My
happened to your
grandparents-
grandparents?
This their street went in the other time, and I haven't seen never anymore my grandparents. They died. There was not. And also a brother for my father, with his wife and a daughter. Also. And uncle was with us, mother's brother. Well, it was us, in the ghetto there. And he went out from the ghetto to see but he can get something, and there's people from there, the Christian killed him.
When the Russians pushed the Germans back, where we left off before, they had asked the people to go to make...
Yes, the young people, my father, yes, they went to make the bridge, and every day they bombed the bridge. They make the bridge, and the German came and bombed the bridge, and then they make a bridge under the water. It was only 2, I know exactly because we went over this bridge.
Yeah,
It was under the water, but very short, and the water was 2 wires, and we know where it is. They went over because the tanks were going through the water. The tanks went through the water, went and came out on the other side.
Huh.
Yes. But they bombed a lot, they bombed us a lot. The German came back and bombed a lot.
Were there?
And then I remember it was already Pesach, and they went the front went further, and everybody left the place. Let's go home. And we went over this place. We went together with other families together, group. It was already groups with other people, yes, not by ourselves. And it was very hard how to go. It was the trains, and we want to go on the train, but it was a lot of soldiers, Russian soldiers. They let us in to go 2, 3 stations and down. It was full. And we little walk, we walked a lot. And then we used to sleep outside. To go home, it was far. And I was not so big. My father used to take me in the hand. I couldn't go anymore. I have what to eat, but not what a child has to have when he's growing. It was not one day. It was 3.5 years. And I couldn't go. And my father used to take me on my hands and go far, 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 put me down. My mother also slept. She could also not, with all the people together, then run back, go back, with all the group to see what was my mom, and come. And so we went, and it was already, we were sleeping where we went to towns, I don't know. Also we used to ask where was the ghetto, so go on. And it was already near from our town, really near.
How long did it take you? Do you remember?
It's taken a long time.
It did take a long time?
Yeah. We went. We went a little with the train to stations and so on. Right. I don't remember. But I remember my father took me on the hand. I was already 12 years old. I was not a baby.